राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यामुनतीरावनचारि यामुनतीरावनचारि राधमाधवा कुंजाविहारी राधमाधवा कुंजाविहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यामुनतीरावनचारि यामुनतीरावनचारि राधमाधवा कुंजाविहारी राधमाधवा कुंजाविहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यामुनतीरावनचारि यामुनतीरावनचारि राधमाधवा कुंजाविहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा गौर प्रमानंदे हरि हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचर अष्टोत्तर जत श्रीमद् श्री भक्त वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचर अष्टोत्तर जत श्रीमद् श्री भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णवंद की जय नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय, श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगमय यमुनामाई की जय, भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, तथा गौर प्रमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Vishnu Padaya Vishnu Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pachatya Destarine Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ओम तत्सत्। Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verse number, who's calling? Okay. Verse number 10 from chapter 12, devotion service 10 to 12, today's topic. अभ्यासेऽपि असमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थम् अपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि अभ्यासेऽपि असमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थम् अपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि. The first verse started with my three times. In this verse also, you see that mat for me, everything to be done for the Supreme Lord. That is the important aspect throughout the devotion service chapter. It is not telling to somebody else. Abhyasepi asamardosi mat karma paramo bhava madardham api karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. The first verse we saw that mat para, now is mat karma paramo. Make your working for me, keep that as the highest parama. So that is the important line here in this verse. Abhyasevi asamardhosi mat karma paramo bhava madardham api karmani kurvan siddhim vapsasi. Word to word. Abhyasa, in practice, api, even if, asamardha, unable, asi, you are, mat karma, my work, parama, dedicated to, bhava, become, madardham, for my sake, api, even, karmani, work, kurvan, performing, siddhim, perfection, avapsasi, you will achieve. Translation by His Divine Grace, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me. Because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Please repeat. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me. Because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Next verse. These are all very important verses. Lord Krishna very compassionately giving various levels. No one is barred, no one is left alone. Everybody has given the opportunity to connect with him, develop attachment for him, and go back home, back to God. Is giving, making the process very easy. अतैतदपि असक्तोऽसि कर्तुम् मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागम् ततः कुरु यथात्मवान्. Again here also madhyogam ashrita. By performing this way, offering your results, you should take shelter of me and offer it to me. So atayetadapi asakto asi kartum madhyogam ashrita sarva falatyagam tata kuru yatatmavan. अतएतदपि असक्तो असि कर्तुम् मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागम् ततः कुरु यथात्मवान्. Ata, even though etad this api also asakta unable asi you are kartum to perform mat upon me yogam in devotion service asrita taking refuge sarva karma of all activities phala of the results tyagam renunciation tata then Kuru, do, yata atmavan, self-situated. Translation by Prabhupada. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. Next verse. This is in this section, this is the last verse. Sreyo hi jnanam abhyasat jnanat dhyanam visishyate jnanat karma phalatyagat tyaga shantiranantaram. Sreyo hi jnanam abhyasat jnanat dhyanam visishyate jnanat karma phalatyagat Tyaga Shantiranantaram. Sreyo hi jnanam abhyasa jnanat dhyanam visishyate. Dhyanat karma phala tyaga Shantiranantaram. Sreya, better, is certainly jnanam, knowledge, abhyasa, than practice, jnanat, than knowledge, dhyanam, meditation. Visishyate is considered better. Jnana, than meditation. Karma phala tyaga, renunciation of the results of fruit of action. Tyaga, by such renunciation, shanti, peace, anantaram, thereafter. Translation by Prabhupada. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of the action. For by such renunciation one can attain peace of mind. Please repeat. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation one can attain peace of mind. Try to understand these verses, wonderful verses. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दयतारिणम्। परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. Swayam Rupa Kadavayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktam ki jai. Here we are discussing chapter 12, devotion service. We are on the second section, as we are mentioning, as the 11th chapter, universal form of Viswarup Sambarshrinoga, ending. That verse is also connected. Why Krishna is speaking this 12th chapter. Arjuna is asking the question because of the universal form. First section is Bhakti is superior to everything, impersonal aspect. Impersonalism versus personalism. That is the first section, 1 to 7. It is connected to the previous section, 11th chapter. Mat karmakran, mat paramo, mat bhakta sanghavajya nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yassamameti pandav. That is the verse from the last chapter. Krishna is telling that mat karmakran, you should work for me. Mat karmakran, mat paramo, make me that highest goal. Mat bhakta, become my devotee. Sangha Vajjita, give up all the faulty association in the mind and externally and internally. Nirvaira Sarva Bhuteshu, don't be enemies of any living entity. Yes, Samameti Pandava. So, you will attain me by engaging in this way. So, same thing here in this one of these verses also, Mat Karma. Lord Krishna and Prabhupada also mentions, connecting to that 1155 last verse. Prabhupada calls that is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. 3.30 called it as purpose of Bhagavad Gita. 1155 Prabhupada called it as essence of Bhagavad Gita, because one must work for Krishna. That is all. So now the second section began. Lord Krishna is explaining that after telling bhakti is superior, then how one can practice. Different types of bhakti has been mentioned by here. Lord Krishna is mentioning. First one is verse number 8, all the way 12 is the last verse. Is giving different because there are various levels of people at different stages. PhD level to masters to bachelors to 10th intermediate, like that. So here also Lord Krishna is giving all the options so that everyone can practice one form or the other. So first he has explained in the 8th verse that Raganuga Bhakti, or spontaneous devotion, one who is immediately attached to Lord Krishna's form, his pastimes, his paraphernalia, his name, everything, directly attached. They're not so agitated or attracted to any material things. Even if they see material thing, they immediately remember Lord Krishna. So everything they are seeing in relation with Krishna. Mayeva mana adatsva mayi buddhim niveshe nivasishyasi mayeva ata urdham asamsaya. Adatsva, avesh, intensity. As because what is the ultimate goal in the 8th chapter, Lord Krishna's why Krishna is speaking in the 8th chapter, attaining the supreme. What is the ultimate point at the end of when we give up this body? One must remember etavat sankhya yoga. Eta sankhya yoga abhyam swadharma parinishthaya janma lava parapumsam ante narayana smriti. End goal is to remember Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana, Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, so that you go back to that planet. That is the idea. So for that, one must practice it. So Lord is giving the path, the process, various levels of process. So the first step is giving is Mayeva Mana Adasva. Use your mind and intelligence. Mayeva Mana Adasva, Mayi Buddhi, mind and intelligence. The first step is mind and intelligence. Use that to remember Krishna, remember the Lord. That is why it is called Smaranatmika / Mananatmika Bhakti. It is internal, Antaranga Bhakti, this is called. The three categories of, broadly two categories, Antaranga Bhakti, Vairanga Bhakti. Through these 8 to 12, 12 verses, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 verses, Lord Krishna is speaking in essence. Antaranga Bhakti, 8 and 9, and then 10, 11, 12 is talking about Bahiranga Bhakti. Not everybody is deeply attached, his mind and intelligence is very much on the Supreme Lord. That's not the case. But one who is, those who are, for them, Lord is speaking in the first one. So, Smaranatmika and Mananatmika. Within the Tantaranga Bhakti, two categories are there, subcategories. Smaranatmika, Mananatmika, and then the second category is Abhyas Rupa, practice. So, one is directly, spontaneously remembering, thinking constantly, 24 by 7. That is the first category of Smaranatmika slash Mananatmika. That's it. Mayeva Mana. Mind is used. Adatsva is fixed. His mind is fixed. It's not going here and there. My buddhim nivesha means again. So his intelligence also fixed. So then atavurdham na samsaya. So my buddhi nivesha. Mayev manadatsva my buddhi nivesha mayev atavurdhanam. So you will live in me and you will attain me. As he practices that, remembering constantly, he will always think of me, he will live in me, and then at the end, when he gives up the body, he will attain me. So, Bhava Bhakti to Prema Bhakti, he will attain. That is the first step. And then the next step has been mentioned, the Abhyas Roop. Ataidat Asaktos. So, one who is not Naseknosi Maistiram. If you are not able to remember and the mind, Mananatmika Sranati, you are not able to remember the Lord, then what you should do? You should practice. If mind is going distracting, bring it back. Until you are going somewhere else, bring it back. So that practice that so diversion of the mind and intelligence, and Prabhupada calls it a practice of regulative principle. So where abhyas means practice. And the 8th chapter also Krishna is speaking the same. Because Arjuna is asking, how come you are telling me I am on the battlefield, most complex? How can I remember you? You are telling me fight and think of me. So, Mam Anusmar Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmar. It is not possible. So, Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmar. Mayarpidano Buddhi Mami Vasas. So, then he tells the next verse is the practice of devotion. So he tells by practice you can come. Even in the 6th chapter when he speaks also, he tells by practice. How can develop detachment is Vairagya, Abhyas and Vairagya. This comes by practice. You can develop detachment by gradual practice. Here also the same thing. First level, if you cannot do, your PhD level, not possible, okay, fine. You come to the master's, bachelor's level, do the practice. Then gradually will come to the higher, next stage of Smarana and Mananatmika from Abhyasru. Then you will attain Prema Bhakti at last. That is the second stage where Prabhupada is talking about waking up early in the morning, chanting, hearing, and various services. But it has been mentioned, under practice has to be under the guidance of expert devotee. That is a key point there. Yesterday, Parabhakti. Again and again, we see the Susrushaya Guru Bhaktiya. So, Madarpanena, Iswara Aradhanena cha. Everything must be offered to Guru and Krishna and worshipping the Lord, all these things. So, in various, so many verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, these things are mentioned. So, the practice of devotion service should be under the guidance of expert devotee. If one hears and Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, this is the last paragraph in that particular purport. Nice purport, important purport. Essence Prabhupada is making. What is this practice of devotion service means? One must read regularly Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam from the pure devotees. And in this way, we practice, one practices, for sure, for certain, he will go back home, back to Godhead, by just simply by following this process. Because he is under the guidance, he is following, then naturally he will develop the Smaranatmika, Maranatmika, and then he will attain Krishna. This is the second stage of the Asarupa. This is still Antaranga Bhakti. So, now this is coming to today's section 10, 11, 12. So, 10th verse is telling that Abhyasa Yasamardosi. So, Na Seknosi Maistram. Then he is telling Sarva Karma Pala, no, Mat Karma Paramo Bhava. Madadam Api Karmani Kurvan Siddhim Avapsasi. Mat Karma. So, if you don't have the strength to practice regulative principles, then you work for me. So you work for me because many times that is the case. So I can give from my own example. 2008, I joined here, Scan of Central New Jersey. But before that, you can say that from 2000 or even in India, 97, so while working and all, even here in US also, before marriage also, I was going to ISKCON, but maybe one, two rounds, maybe chanting few rounds, maybe more. Service was there sometimes, but not regularly, consistently. So, of course, not following all the practice of regulative principles of devotion service. So you can say that this verse, 10th verse, so everybody has gone from one stage to next. We're not at the highest stage immediately, unless we have come in the last life we have practiced. If we haven't finished it, then we will continue. Then we may be in Smaranatmika, but most of the time that's not the case. Most of the times either we are in the Vyas Roop or the third stage, as in this verse 10, 11, 12. This is most of the cases, this is the situation. Verse number 10. Work for me. So what were you doing? So you engage in the service. So anywhere temple means it needs organization, it needs publishing books, distributing books. It needs just like when we opened this temple 2014. We need a lot of work. So many people who are not even outsiders, they used to come and help in putting the wood, so putting the floor together. Uh, so or the putting the tiles also. So in the beginning, many people worked even to find this place. So not everybody is following four regulative principles chanting, uh, not even chanting. So the what by working for me. So that's why mat karma. By working for Krishna, that means they could be giving donation, they could be showing the place. This is where you can build a temple. This is a nice place. I will help you with lawyers, finding places, various logistics, various arrangements. That is also still helping to that extent. Even in Juhu, when we have serious problem with Sri Radha Ras Bihari temple, later on it came. But in the beginning, big problem was there. One of the big guys, political guys, some these gangsters, so kind of guy. He didn't let the because that was in a central place where the deity was there, so they didn't want to give. Then finally, Bal Thackeray also helped. So Prabhupada said, yes, you will be getting the benefit, credit for it. So anybody who's working, they may not be following four regular principles, they may not be chanting even either. But by working for Krishna in different ways, it could be helping with painting, whatever facilities, whatever experiences, whatever they are aware of, they are experienced with. So they can help in various ways. TOV, Temple of Vedic Planetarium is building in Sita Mayapur. How many people are helping? So many different construction people are there. So many. They may not most of them are not chanting holy name, but still that is working for Krishna. So definitely they will get to the next level. Either in this life, if they are associated with the devotees, they are, have a simple heart, then for sure in this life itself they will come to the second level. If they are serious enough, then they will come to the first level and attain in this life itself. It depends on the how much simple in their heart, at their heart, and then how much serious they become as they associate and as they work. If not this life, then they will continue in the next life. Will come to the next stages. So working means in this way you can see that throughout Gaur Lila. So we'll give the example of so Prabhupada before he came to US, so many ways he tried, even for that matter, going back to Bhakti Thakur, he begged door to door. He's giving the opportunity. You could have done just find out few people, wealthy people, and approached and got the money and built the yoga pit, the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Beautiful place. Even now it is Sri Gandharvika Giridhari temple. Deity is there in Navadip Dham, West Bengal, Mayapur, or ISKCON headquarters. Bhaktivinoda Thakur begged door to door, 1 rupee only, not taking more, 1 rupee only. Everybody then he collected and then he built this place. So that means he is giving the facility, work for Krishna. That facility is giving. In Gaulila Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Haridas Thakur passed away, he himself personally carried his body on his hands, and he went on the bank of the ocean, Mahodadi. Then he did the funeral rites and everything personally. And then when he came back, then there's supposed to be prasadam distribution. That is the process, as per Vaishnava for sure. So then he came back and he asked, he begged personally, with his two hands, put a cloth, and he begged, going to every shop owner. Not necessarily everybody is chanting, everybody is following for him. That's not the case. So he's begging door to door, give me the alms, begging. Then Sarv Damar Goswami, this Lord going and begging door to door. This is, we're all there, servant, whatever, we are simply watching the master doing the work. Then they sent Sarv Damar Goswami, sent Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, sent him back to his room and gave him associates, a few also servants. Then he himself and along with others, they went to each shop, only four handful of each item, what you have. That is it, because Jagannath Prasad only they sell, Ananda Bazaar, they call the shopkeepers. So that he collected, and then they distributed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally distributed this Mahaprasadam to each and every devotee. This is the great festival of a great Vaishnava. So Haridas Thakur. So, and Srivas Thakur's house, Muslim tailor used to be there. We were working. So, they are working for the devotee, working for Krishna. So, they got their benefit. Muslim tailor got the also pure devotion service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his mercy. Then he was completely shivering and actually dancing and all happened for even Muslim tailor. So Duki, another servant, used to bring water and everything. She also was transformed like that. So all these examples are mat karma. So working for Krishna, mm, either supporting the temple physically with the body and words. You may be distributing the books, or you may be telling that there is a temple there. Why don't you go there? So you'll get prasad. Whatever way, even that word of mouth, even that is also working for Krishna. So in one form or the other, you are giving directly donation, or you are directly helping with the construction in carpentry or cement work or whatever. People may have different capacities, or building websites, helping with various things, or bringing various items from India to here to export, import, or bringing them with us. So helping in so many different ways. There are so many ways. And when Prabhupada was coming to US before that, how many people helped? Sumati Morarji to for this coming here, even to stay here. He stayed in Butler, Pennsylvania. They were not devotee. They had meat and everything. They had his wife was smoking. His father was very pious. His father he used to tell. So yes, I will do it. I will ask my son to sponsor. So Agrawal family. So in this is mat karma. They will definitely pursue. They will get benefit. If not this life, she was in touch actually with the Nurandavan devotee. She used to talk. One time she came. I was there also that year, if I remember correctly. Mm, Butler, Pennsylvania. This Agrawal, Prabhu's wife. She came. So she definitely for sure in this life or next life, for sure she will attain perfection. It's a matter of how many lifetimes. But for sure she's on the path. Mat karma krum. So when Srila Prabhupada opened up Jhansi League of Devotees first time before coming here, established, he came to Jhansi. It was not a place, but somehow or the other somebody might have suggested. He came there and tried to establish. Then he knew one Shastri devotee. Then that person has introduced Prabhupada to another family, Om Prakash, Sharma, Om Prakash Mishra or something, and his wife Krishna Dasi or something. So she was more favorable to, just got married. They are not so much. Most of the Jhansi is Ram Bhaktas. Then Prabhupada was there at their house and asked for their help because I don't know, I'm new to this place. Can you show me around? Then we went, took Prabhupada and rickshaw and showed all around. And he thought Prabhupada was interested in seeing the place and what. But he saw that Prabhupada was not interested at all in seeing the place. He was trying to find a temple. He understood that. Then again, can you take me to the different buildings and Then Prabhupada sat on the bicycle. He had only bicycle because he's just not got newly married. He's not settled and everything. So then Prabhupada sat on the bicycle and they went around to find the place. Finally, they found this place which is not used. I think Radha Memorial or something. So, or it was called before something else. So they found the place. Prabhupada tried to do his best, but then because of politics and whatnot, that was taken away later on. So, but this person, this Prabhupada used to preach to him, but he was not saying, I just got married, don't preach to me, kind of that kind of thing was there. The Prabhupada said, you will take to Krishna consciousness, you should chant, you will take to Krishna consciousness for sure. So Prabhupada used to say, then Prabhupada left Jhansi, but his wife was very favorable. His wife was always listening, very much attracted to Krishna consciousness. So later on, after Prabhupada left Jhansi, so he met one devotee who was initiated there. I'm forgetting the name. So and then Prabhupada left because he couldn't continue, he couldn't establish the temple. Rather, he made a beautiful deity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Mayapur and brought it to Jhansi. He tried to establish basically, but it didn't happen. Then he said that maybe Krishna has a different plan, so that's why it didn't. It was not successful. But you are part of the plan. I am sure you are going to become a devotee. You are going to practice. You are going to take up Krishna consciousness. That's what Prabhupada said to this person, Om Prakash Sharma, Om Prakash Mishra, because he helped, of course, Mat Karma, working for Krishna, working for Krishna's representative. That's what he did. And later on, after Prabhupada went back to US and much later on, then our devotees met his wife in Vrindavan. Mm, she was dancing, chanting fully. And then she found out, our devotees found out from her that later on, Gaudiya Math devotees came there uh, to Jhansi and then they met him. Then he told, you should chant the holy name. Because Prabhupada at that time he told, but at that time he didn't take up. He just got married. So it took few years, maybe 15 or 20 years, I don't know how long exactly. But then this time when Gaudiya Math devotees told you should chant the holy name, then immediately he started practicing Krishna consciousness. So in this way, so his wife was already a devotee. So gradually he also started practicing Krishna consciousness. So the one who works for Krishna, even though maybe not knowingly what exactly he is doing, or even helping in any way, shape or form, in a small way or big way. So many pastimes throughout Prabhupada Lila Amrita, you can find so many of these pastimes or the other memories his disciples share. While being in Delhi, also so many different devotees, different people who are have not devotees at all. They try to assist Prabhupada in small way or big way. We couldn't even get paper to print the books to write back to Guarded magazine. So he was walking in the hot summer day in Delhi, so much pain, so much trouble Prabhupada was taking. In hot summer, one day he was waiting at one outside somebody's house. Then this person saw going in a rickshaw. He saw the Prabhupada, saintly person, is sitting, standing outside. So much hot summer and waiting. Then he asked Prabhupada, "What are you waiting for?" Yeah, this person supposed to. He said he promised me to give some donation for my books. That's why I'm waiting. No, Prabhupada, no, why don't you go inside or come back in the evening? It's so hot. It's not good for you. Please come in the evening. Then still no, I'll be all right. You go ahead. Then he couldn't because he saw this old person and saintly person is standing outside. He didn't feel right. So what do you need? How much you need? How much is supposed to give? 5 rupees. He said, I will give 10 rupees every month. I will give. No, Prabhupada asked, how much can you? He said, I will donate. You go in the evening, you come back in the. No, how much you can give? And then he said, 10 rupees. Can you give every month? Then he said, all right, I will give every month. Still, after he promised that also, still Prabhupada was there outside, waiting for that person. Then still, I will also, so your looks very poor. I will buy you dhoti. So I'll support you in whatever best I can. So in this way, you can see that the Lord Krishna's arrangements and one who is supporting, working in any way, shape, or form to either Lord or Lord is pure devotees, they all get the benefit. They all get the benefit. Like Prabhupada's schoolmates, also some of them pastimes from Calcutta. We have heard that. So one of them, because the Prabhupada used to play with them chess and shake hands and converse with them, even though they are not ready, they are not chanting, they are not accepting Krishna consciousness so favorable, but they have attachment to with Prabhupada. So, and in the last moments of life, they remembered Prabhupada's face and Prabhupada's, his features, Prabhupada's, his conversations, and then they could see Prabhupada said that before leaving the body. So, of course, definitely better destination. They will continue next life, or they may be. We don't know what the pure do, because whatever pure devotee gives blessing, then so special exceptional cases will be there. So up to Krishna, so and between Guru and Krishna, so different arrangements can be made. So we don't know exactly. It could be going to Krishna's planet in the material world, maybe trained up and going back, or he may take human birth, continue next life, become a devotee. Then from there he will continue. So, but either way, in one way or the other, so throughout different pastimes of the Lord. So even Gaur Lila, there is another pastime, tax collectors. How many tax collectors we hear the pastime? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted all of them into devotees. They were harassing devotees, but as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walked in, so then by seeing him itself, completely he was changed his mind, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his mercy, then he became a devotee. So Mahaprabhu gave him ecstatic symptoms arose from him. So as he walked down further, then he met a small boy. Then he gave buttermilk to Mahaprabhu. And then he said, I will pay. Otherwise, I will ask my devotees to pay. Then the Mahaprabhu took that buttermilk, and then he gave the pot back. And then the Mahaprabhu walked away. I don't have any money. So I don't have. Then my devotees will pay. Then they came. They also didn't have money. They were walking out. Then as they walking away, then he saw. Then he was checking the pot. Then his pot was heavy. The buttermilk pot was empty. Pot became filled with jewels. So then he was completely in ecstasy. So small boy. So then the devotees realized, as they were walking away, they realized that he has attained Krishna Prema by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. This is all working for Krishna means it could be anything, serving devotees, serving the Lord in any shape or form. So like this, so many pastimes, I'm sure you all, so everyone has their these pastimes in their life, in your own life, and you might have seen and experienced this way, as this verse gives clue, and Prabhupada explains working for Krishna in so many different ways you can do it. This is all indirectly, because directly you are not even this, yeah, directly or indirectly in this verse. And the next verse, Krishna is telling this is called Bahiranga Bhakta. Antaranga Bhakta means you are directly chanting, directly practicing, remembering, mind intelligence there. If not, then you are practicing devotion service. In various services you are directly engaged in. Then, but if that is not possible, then third, this Bahiranga Bhakta, which means externally you are using your body, your wealth, so that means your hands, your legs, your ears, so all these items in the service of working for Krishna. Not necessarily you are practicing for regulative principle, not necessarily you are chanting, not necessarily you are doing the 64 limbs uh, or in these 9 limbs of devotion service. So Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasivam, Archanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedam, any of these, but simply working for Krishna one way or the other. So that's what here Lord Krishna is simplifying this mm, third aspect of third type of bhakti. Then is going to the fourth type. If one cannot practice the third type, then he's telling that fourth category is sarva karma phalatyagam. So give up the attachment to the results. Mm, or you offer your results using the sacrifices because working for Krishna is also not for everybody, every cup of, yeah, it's not everybody's cup of tea, as they say. So because Prabhupada talks about in purport, because of the family arrangements. Either one family will not allow, or the parents will not allow, or the mother-in-law will not allow, or somebody or the other will not allow. Even in this case, Om Prakash, Mr. also said that. So I think, or in the another case, his wife was giving money to Prabhupada. I think in this case only. Then no, he was giving. I think in another case, another instance, another person who's favorable to Krishna consciousness, his wife is not so much. Then he was giving money to Prabhupada. Then he came back and told his wife, "How can you give money? He said, we have saved, and now I'm going to die. We have saved this money for children's education and so many things to be done, buy a house, and now how can you give that money?" I don't know. I did. He was very impressive. He was trying to do the best work. So I thought it will be good thing for us. It will some good things will happen in our life if we do that. If I help, so that's why I gave. But anyway, now we are saying let's go back, go to Prabhupada and see. Then they both went and next day, then Prabhupada. So then his wife was talking. Then after seeing Prabhupada and then Prabhupada's conversation, then she kind of pacified. Then so she was all right. She didn't want to take the money back. So in this way, we can see the next verse. Krishna is telling, all right, because not everybody may work directly for Krishna in any of the ways, directly supporting any Krishna conscious activities, either money or body, serving in any way, shape or form. Then what will happen to them? How they can do? Then Krishna is telling that yes, yeah, give up your some portion of your results, engage in various activities, sacrifices. mm, or philanthropic work. If you feed poor people or whatever, utilize some portion of the money in the service of God or service of others. That's what use some of your results in the service of the Lord. So that was the next category. So in that way, in the before category also mat karma krum, mat karma. In that was also I can tell before I coming to Krishna consciousness, I used to go also. I used to, there Prabhupada talks about sacrifice, all this. So I used to perform Satyana Vrata, then Srinivas Kalyan, all these things used to happen. All this built up because to come to Krishna consciousness is the highest level. To come to that, it's not easy. It takes time. So you need a lot of bhakti credits. Sometimes Ajna Sukriti is also there, mercy of the Tulsi Marani, mercy of the pure devotees, knowingly, unknowingly, by serving them or shape or form. So more it builds up, then you are entering first layer of sinful activities are removed. Then you enter into Krishna consciousness. Until that doesn't happen, it's not by chance. Nothing is by chance. As per coming to Krishna consciousness, not by chance. First layer of sinful activity has to be removed. Then only you will enter. Then as you move to surrender spiritual master, then the next layer has to happen. Then you come to that. So that's how it is like that. Esham antagatam papam janana punyam te dandam mohan mukta bhajante ma dadavata. To come to that nishta stage, there are many layers. As we engage in this process, then gradually the clearing will happen, various levels of clearance. Then we move to the next step like that. So that's why it is important way to engage in step one. If that is not possible for anatma, then you come to step two, which is abhyasa practice of devotion service for trying to fix the mind and intelligence in various ways through chanting, through hearing, through service, through serving Vaishnavas, taking prasad, all these things. Then that is not possible. Then you work for Krishna. You may not be chanting, you may not be following any of the four religions. Then you work for Krishna, physically using our body, our senses, and our wealth, our resources. mm, Bringing also together friends, sometimes moving the things, transportation, taking the devotees, helping them, bringing the sannyasi, picking up from the airport. All this comes under the same mat karma. working for Krishna in one way or the other. There are so many different ways one can support or help. If that is not possible, then you do indirectly. That is the which is offering the results in different ways, helping others or in sacrifices. So not directly to the temple, but in other engagement of Vedic sacrifices. If that is not possible, then see, Krishna so compassionately is giving, so for everybody, so that everybody can get the benefit, can come to the practice of devotion service. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa, jnanat dhyanam visishyate, jnanat karma phala tyagat, tyagat jantirantaram. Mm, Then you cultivate knowledge. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa. If you cannot do this abhyas, this practice, either working for Krishna or engaging in this giving up the results, this is the lower category. Basically, he is bringing to the first six chapters. The 11th and 12th verse is talking about first six chapters, Nishkam Karma Yoga. So in the 8th, 9th is talking about Raghunaga Bhakti, higher levels, Antaranga Bhakti. And then 10, 11, 12 is talking about Bahiranga Bhaktas. In that also 11th and 12 especially is coming to Nishkam Karma. 10th is still higher than that. You can say that Karma Mishra Bhakti. Chaturveda Bhajante, beginning stages of bhakti. Working for Krishna means you still have some favorableness is there. Otherwise, why if somebody is working for helping in different little favorable, as knowingly he may not know that is exactly is getting some bhakti credit. He may not know many times, but still that is still falling under that category. And then the next category, 11, 12, 12 is completely nishkam, giving up the results, using some portion of the results in some form or the other. Vedic sacrifice, it could be demigod worship, it could be in any kind of sacrifices. And the last one, Krishna is telling that, okay, if you don't want to do any of this, then you cultivate a knowledge. Sreya Gnanam Abhyasat, Jnana Dhyanam Visishati, Dhyanat Karma Phala Tyaga, Tyaga Chantranam. So, better than knowledge is meditation, better than meditation is giving up the results. So, this way, Lord Krishna is giving chance to pretty much everyone. No one is left out. So, it's very clearly laying out these details. So, Krishna doesn't need to do. He could have directly said, Tivrena Bhakti Yogi and Ajayata Purushottaram. So, he could have said, Akama Sarvakama Mokshakam Udarati Tivrena Bhakti Yogi. So if you are full of desires or no desires, or you want liberation, either way, you just simply engage in tivri and intensity, perform bhakti with intensity. So then you'll attain me. So, but is here Lord Krishna in pure devotion. This is the topmost, very important chapter. But Krishna is giving the chance. He wants everybody to come to the stage by step. It is a step by step process. No one should jump in few places for Prabhupada writes like that. Don't try to jump because if you try to jump, then it will be chaotic. It will create chaos because one level to another level takes time. So everything, the situation, everything, the arrangement, work and family, everything is fine, then it's okay. But otherwise, it doesn't balance out, then people will be fried out. So that has to be looked at. It's a gradual balance, slowly and gradually. But internally, one should cultivate this habit. One should cultivate. Externally, you may not be able to do so many things, but internally, one should seriously cultivate desiring and praying. Then that will, then everything Krishna and Guru will arrange accordingly, depending on how seriously we are seeking, desiring it, and praying. Then gradually, Krishna will arrange and adjust everything slowly and gradually. As in Prabhupada's pastimes, so many examples are there. So otherwise, how all these Western, they have no idea of who Krishna is, who God is. So, but they are seeking something which is the I forgot to tell. Vijay Prabhu, ISKCON minister for book distribution, international minister. He was Western. He was simply at the age of 20 years or so, he was searching. He was searching for something. So beyond these material things, searching for something. Then he found some book on spirituality. Then he was reading. Then he went to that place also. Then they told that you have to by a mantra. You have to chant this mantra, which will make you peaceful, which will elevate you in the spiritual progress. Then he brought that mantra. He paid something at that time, 5,000 rupees or something, 5,000 or $100 or something. He paid, and then he got the two-syllable mantra. Then gradually, after some time, then he found a book. At that time, he was famous in US. It seems. So then there in that book he talks about you must read Bhagavad Gita. So then he understood somehow or the other. He went to library. Then he got the Bhagavad Gita out of few copies, few different versions. He's been told now you should go to. Finally he landed into Miami. So went to LA. Then he went to Miami. Then somebody told you should go to Key West. So in one of the library, then he found this Bhagavad Gita. He was working there in Key West, and then in library he found, and then one of them is Prabhupada's book, Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is. At that time, I think it was Macmillan edition, the abridged version. He found that book, then he started reading. 3 days he finished the whole book. Then he understood. Then he started chanting. Devotee was not there. No one was there. No one was there. No interaction with any devotee at that point. He simply somehow or the other, the divine arrangement. See the gradually how it happened, evolved. Then he started chanting. In few days, in a week or something, then he saw some devotees chanting. Oh, I am also chanting. You are also chanting the same mantra. Then almost few hours, they started explaining the whole philosophy. And they said, yeah, we have a place here. Why don't you come and stay here? So when he was staying somewhere, then he started staying with them. And then gradually, then they told, now why don't you come to a temple and help? He was looking for paradise where he can stay there, serve, engage in the service of the Lord, service to God. That was his thinking in the beginning. Now Lord arranged it. Then he's been sent to, why don't you come to Miami? We have a beautiful temple there. There were 8 acres of land, 6 acres completely full of flowers. And growing vegetables and whatnot. The whole US used to get flowers from Miami, it seems, at that time. This is we're talking about, I think, 1980s. I think after Prabhupada left, this was this past time. See the connection gradually. So he became. Then they started. You should distribute books. They gave him assignment. Once initially he was there for a few months serving, and the farm picking of the flower. That was his first service, picking of the flowers. Then gradually they put him on the, I think, deity cleaning the temple, deities vessels and prasadam vessels and whatnot. Then gradually, why don't you go and distribute books? Then he tried. He felt very happy. He liked it. Then he was going on distributing. Then they told, okay, now why don't you go and try distributing books at the airports? That was then completed. It was different, because different types of people you'll meet, and he liked it. So in that way, it grew and grew more and more. Then he came to LA. Then he started distributing books there also. Then finally, he's been assigned. Why don't you become a book distribution minister? So it's been almost, I think, 80s. We're talking about 20, 40 plus years. Is in this book distribution, very much attached. See how it started. His desire, simplicity. He was not attached to. He didn't work so much. He didn't want to work at all. Doesn't he was not married at that time, so I don't know if he married later on. I don't know his full pastime, but this way there are so many stories, so many pastimes of these devotees. We can understand from these verses. It's a simple process. It's not complicated. We may make it complicated, but it is a simple process and it can work for anybody, for a child or male, female, young or old, it doesn't matter. So, what walk of life we are in, business, IT, housewife, whatever the case may be, it applies for everybody. If it is spoken on the battlefield of Kurukshetra means it is the most complex situation. So if it applies there, it applies to everybody at any walks of life. No one can say that no, this doesn't work for me, this doesn't cut it for me. So that's not the case. So in that way, we can understand these verses of coming from Shraddha to Prema. So by simply directly or indirectly engaging in devotion service. That is the essence of these 10, 11, 12, 3 verses. Anyone has questions? Good. You're unmuted. Anyone has questions? There should be a lot of questions. You all understood? No questions? I'm going to read some Ram Katha if no one has questions. But if you have questions, go ahead. No questions?
Hare, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Yes.
Pranam, Prabhupada.
No.
Prabhuji, as we like in the process of Krishna consciousness and do all the follow the regulative principle and try our level best to chant and follow
Yeah.
everything. Now, but if something happens like in the family, if someone is in trouble or someone is bewildered, like in case of like my extended family I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So how I can help, because if I like when you also say that we can also establish a relationship with Krishna as a Vatsalya bhav, or any bhav, that your Sakhya bhav. So if you talk like that to Krishna, please help, and you are residing in everybody's heart, and you talk very general, like you talk to a person, like but he's a god. But at the same time, when something happens, if that bhav comes in and we take help from him to help others, like then is it okay to talk to him like that? Because like you can talk to the god like as your friend or beloved or something, and you can talk like the way we talk with others. Is it okay, or we have to no, we have to see him as a god? I get confused sometimes.
In general, it is not advisable to do that way. But I've seen devotees doing, not only at home or with other people. They are doing it even at the temple. I've seen even in our temple. I've seen they are talking to the lordships in that way. I don't know what I should make out, maturity or immaturity. I don't know. So I don't want to put the word, but that is not advisable. At least Prabhupada was strongly said, not to do in that way in the beginning stages of devotional service. But definitely we can help anybody, family members, extended family, giving them prasadam. The way that we have to see what they are attached to, what they like accordingly. Then we mold them. We try to help them in that way. If they like prasadam, if they like the books, or if they like the places. Some people have they don't like most of these things. Then you may take them to Vrindavan. You may take them to some of the nice, wonderful festivals. What they may like seeing. They may like to maybe simply to be in dancing. So then you may take them when the kirtan programs or something like that happen. Then you take them at the time. So we have to see, what the other person is all about, what their interests are. Then accordingly, I think we have to mold them. We have to engage them in that way. Then gradually, but prasadam generally most of the times it
Not
helps
to
them positive credits.
hear. If they don't not want to hear, what we can do.
Their voice is cutting. If they don't want to hear, yeah, if they not want to hear, then you don't talk much, but you just simply um, give them prasadam, um, then you take to the outside programs. Many of these programs are outside also. Some of these Western programs, especially, they don't talk about so much about philosophy either. So some of these programs are simply
Mm,
just kirtan only, nothing else. They will not even
mm,
have a dhoti or kurta also. So completely
right.
Western preaching, Namhatta preaching, all these things, you cannot even make out that they are practicing Krishna consciousness. They don't tell them, nobody tell. They will not even know what they are entering into either. So, because Western, they have no idea what this is. So many of them, when they enter, then gradually they like it. They want to be in kirtan, they want to chant. So they like it. Not
Mhm.
necessarily they're practicing for regular, not necessarily they do chanting at home, but they like to
Mm.
be in kirtan. They like to hear the music. They're attracted to music. So it depends like that. Uh, yeah. So
Yeah.
indirectly engage them in one form or the other, but you have to see. And first is we have to build the relationship. Yes. Uh,
Yeah.
Naturally, it's not that we try to build that relation artificially. It is natural because devotee means you're always uh, loving everyone. It's not you have no envious to anybody, any living entity. You see everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna. You try to help everyone, but in the interest of time, those who are little inclination, little spark, little favorable is there, then you may spend a little more time than anybody because we have limited time. We are not Prabhupada, so with our
Yeah.
limited time, we may spend more time with those who are little favorable, little spark is there, then we may give time. But otherwise, we are ready to. We see everybody as as a friend. We help them somehow or the other because we have received so much from Prabhupada and from Lord Krishna. Then we try our best to give it to everybody else, whatever we received. So
Prabhuji, what if they don't want to hear about Krishna consciousness? They don't want to, as I was talking over the phone, and he said, now you're giving your pravachan. Now I'm not ready for that. You don't understand what I am going through and all. So
yeah,
if not they are ready to hear anything of that sort, then what we should do?
yeah,
Can pray only.
yes. We pray for them. We give them prasadam. We don't even tell them prasadam. So if they are doesn't even like to hear that word, then you don't even give the prasadam. You just give nice
Mm-hmm.
sweet, nice whatever, So
Hmm.
like that. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, we have to see the other person, and then but there could be outside programs. Nothing
Mhm.
to. They may not be talking necessarily about Krishna. They may be talking about spirituality. They may be talking in general, in a general sense. So in those programs, you may invite them. Some of this Western preaching is like that. Western
Mhm.
programs, many of them are like that. So that's why they have these programs. Even the Festival of Colors, there are not necessarily there. There's some kirtan for sure will be there, but other than that, they will not have. Prasadam will be there, but festival colors means they have no idea what is this. But they're doing in many temples. Initially, it used to be only in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Right.
Charu Prabhu.
Mhm.
Now many temples, New Vrindavan, many temples are doing that because
Mhm.
that gives opportunity for outside people who have no bhakti credits, no credits of Krishna consciousness. So for them, they get
Mhm.
opened up. They get the bhakti credits. Unknowingly, they may not
Mhm.
know what they are entering into. So
Right, right. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Then we're now.
now, anybody else has question? For 10 minutes from Ram Katha. Anybody else has a question? Okay, let's read for 5 10 minutes and then we'll stop. We'll do the one bhajan and then we'll read. अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम पतिता पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम पतिता पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। पतिता पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। पतिता पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। पतिता पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय। प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर भक्तों की जय। Where we are. While remaining invisible. No, no. Where we are. Meanwhile, Lord Brahma gave the following orders to the demigod. Lord Vishnu will soon appear in human society, and so all of you should beget partial manifestations of yourselves to assist him. I want you to create a race of divine monkeys by uniting with the Apsaras, female monkeys, Yakshas, Nagas, Vidyadharas, and Kinnaras. These offspring must be capable of assuming any form at will. Because the Siddhas, generally, many of these can take any form because when they have mystic perfection, they can take any form like that. And they must possess the other mystic powers as well. In addition, they must be very intelligent. They must be highly skilled in the use of weapons. So, for futuristic Ravana killing, they must have strength equal to yourselves. They must possess ethereal bodies, that is more subtle bodies. After receiving this order, Indra begot Vali, Surya begot Sugriva, Brahaspati begot Tara, Kuvera begot Gandhamadana, Vishwakarma begot Nala, Agni begot Nila, the Ashwini Kumaras begot Mainda and Dvivida. They were even in Krishna Lila also. They were the associate Lord Rama, but they became little somehow or other with the association of demons. They became kind of offensive. Then they fought with Krishna and Balram in Krishna Lila also. Varuna begot Sushena and Vayu begot Hanuman. Beside these principal monkeys, many thousands were born to assist Lord Vishnu in his mission. All of them were gigantic like mountains. They were exceedingly eager to fight with Ravana. Because we haven't seen in Kali Yuga doesn't mean that they don't exist. As these descriptions are there in many places. Not like because in Kali Yuga each age has a different in terms of the height, the weight, the way we look, everything is different. It's not exactly the same because we haven't seen doesn't mean that it's a mythology or it doesn't exist. How can they be 7 feet tall or what? So we have to accept. We are accepting so many things of this material world's news, but when it comes to Shastra only, we have big doubts. So we should accept because this is a different age. Although this is we are talking about Treta Yuga. They are so powerful that they could agitate the ocean with their impetuous energy. These are demigods. They have powers. So they can be taller than tallest and smaller than smallest. These are all mystic powers. One can have any form or shape. So they want. These were actually the three classes of beings created by the demigods. Formerly, Jamban, I told Jamban also, is not a regular bear. When we say monkey, Hanuman is not a regular monkey. He's not a regular monkey, what we see in Kali Yuga. near our homes. No, that's not the case. The king of bears had emanated from Lord Rama's mouth as he was yawning. These bears were one class, and other two classes were monkeys, one of which had long tails like those of cows. Or maybe I've seen, I think, gorillas or monkeys, longur monkeys. Some of the monkeys have long tails. I've seen in some of the places. These were more than the 10 million of these bears and monkeys. And so the earth became overrun with them as they wandered through the forest, eating wild fruit. Interesting details are given. Various kinds of roots. Meanwhile, after the completion of the Putreshti sacrifice, Putra Kameshti Yaga, so the demigod who had personally come to accept the offerings, the assisting priests, Rishya Sringa and Shanta, as well as the invited guests, returned to their respective residences. Then, after the pregnancy of 12 months, on the ninth day of the waxing fortnight, that is Rama Navami. Janma Ashtami, like that is which day of the Lord is born. So like that. Nityananda Trayodasi, like that. So different days. So fortnight in the month of Chaitra. So Lord Narsingh Dev is in, I think, is in, what is that? What nakshatra? Swati nakshatra. Like that. Each Lord Ramachandra is born Punarvasu nakshatra, star. So like that. Everyone has a Lord Krishna is born in Rohini nakshatra, Rohini star, like that. So this is in Chaitra, the month of Chaitra. Kaushalya gave birth to a son having a reddish eyes and lips, long arms, and a body possessing an all auspicious marking. The son of Kaushalya represented one half of the potency of Lord Vishnu. Soon thereafter, a son representing one fourth of the potency of Lord Vishnu was born to Kaikeyi. We're talking about Lord Rama, Lord Bharata, then Bharata and Shatrugna. These four quadruple. Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aruddha. So, Chaturdhamurti or Jagannath, Baldev, Sudram, Sudarshan, like that. So, Lord Vishnu was born to Kaikeyi. And then Maharaj Dasharatha's youngest queen. Then, the 2 days after the birth of Kaushalya's son, Sumitra gave birth to two twins, each representing one eighth of the potency of Lord Vishnu. All four newborn children greatly resembled one another. They were very brilliant and were exceedingly pleasing to behold. At the birth of these four sons of Dasharatha, the demigod showered flowers from heaven, and the sound of celestial music could be heard coming from the sky. In Ayodhya, there was a great festival as all the citizens crowded into the streets and took part in the merry making, along with the musicians, dancers, and actors who provided entertainment. Uh, So, like this, when we celebrate Janmashtami also outside, now we are doing in temple. Outside, there used to be so many people, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people used to come. Some of them outside, they are first time they are coming to Krishna consciousness, attending Janmashtami festival. Generally, the festivals bring so many new people, actually. So that's how they get the bhakti credit, and then gradually they may take up. If some people take up immediately, right away, next day onward they will start practicing. Some people take their time sometimes, maybe next lifetimes for some of them. So, but credit is established, then they may take up immediately or after quite some time. So, depends on the how many credits and what seriousness they have, and to whom they associate with all these matters. Power of devotee, so many things comes into picture at that point of time. The greatly that hold on. 13 days after the birth of Kaushalya's son Vasishtha Muni, the family priest performed the name giving ceremony. The greatly fortunate Rishi named the son of Kaushalya Rama, the son of Kaikeyi Bharata, and the twin sons of Sumitra, Lakshmana, and Bharata Shatrugna. Thereafter, Vasishtha Muni took charge of performing all the purifying rituals for the sons of Maharaj Dasharatha, culminating in the sacred thread ceremony. Under Vasishta's able guidance, all four became masters of the Vedas, great heroic warriors, and the reservoirs of all godly qualities. From his birth, however, Rama outshone his brothers in all respects, and so he naturally became the pet son of his father. From childhood, Lakshmana was very attached to Rama. And we can see that that's why he went 14 years, no eating, no sleeping. So that is a great austerity. Lord Balram is always serving. As younger elder, is always serving. He is showing example how to serve, how to be a great servant, like Lord Hanuman, Lord Lakshmana, how to serve. Rama was also attached to Lakshmana. In fact, Rama would not eat anything or even go to sleep without Lakshmana. When Rama would go hunting to the forest, Lakshmana accompanied him without fail. Similarly, Bharata and Shatrughna were very dear to one another and practically inseparable. So this is how the common sometimes we see even in our sons and daughters in our family also that's all like that. Some between if we have 3 or 4 children, then some are attached to other. So like that you can see here also. When uh, yeah. After Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna had completed their education, Maharaj Dasratha consulted Vasishtha about their marriage. During one such discussion, the greatly powerful Brahma Rishi Vishwamitra arrived at Ayodhya and entered the royal palace. Maharaj Dasratha and Vasishtha immediately got up from their seat to welcome the great sage. The king then worshipped his guests in a befitting manner. Afterward, Maharaj Dasratha escorted Vishwamitra into the royal court and seated him upon opulent throne. The king then very submissively said, "O foremost of saintly persons, I hope that your endeavors to conquer over the cycle of repeated birth and this is the Prabhupada says, Punarjanma Jayaya. That is the first question. They ask, have you conquered birth, death, old age, disease? Because that is what Ante Narayan Smriti means. You have conquered Pavarga. Apavarga Vartamana Shraddha Bhakti Rati Anukramashati. That is the question. That is the important question. Dasarath Maharaj is asking if there is any help needed in that way as a king, because he can help in whatever shape, because Brahmana should do Brahmana's business, Kshatriya should do Kshatriya business. Brahmana not supposed to kill or protect, he seek the guidance of the Kshatriya. He could do, but then it's a waste of his time, waste of his resources, waste of his powers. So in that way, in that sense, he is asking here. Mm, uh, I consider your coming here to be as welcome as a gift of nectar placed in one's hands, a torrential rainfall after long drought, the birth of a son for one who is childless, or the recovery of great wealth that was considered irrevocably lost. When Vishwamitra inquired about his welfare, Maharaj Dasratha humbly replied, "O great Rishi, your coming here is the greatest blessing for me. I am honored by your presence. Now please tell me what you desire so that I may serve the purpose of your visit." Vishwamitra was very pleased with the king's reception. He replied, "I was performing a great sacrifice, but as it was nearing completion, two vicious Rakshasas named Maricha and Subahu interrupted it. Being determined to frustrate my attempts, they have repeatedly polluted my sacrificial arena by dropping flesh and blood upon the altar." So, not only, so these are all telling us the lessons that always nothing is a cakewalk. Everybody goes through the different disturbances, different difficulty, different tests. So the patience, enthusiasm, determination is very much required in everything we do, even ordinary material work also. Nothing is like that. With rose bushes. Maharaj, so that I may successfully complete my sacrifice, I wish to take your son Rama to kill these two terrible Rakshasas. Please do not hesitate. Out of parental affection, to honor my request, for I can assure you that Rama will easily accomplish this task. In return for your generosity, I shall give you ample benedictions. With that, we'll stop here. 8:30. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.